The topic is what is an operating system, its key functions, big three operating systems that is Linux, Windows, and Mac OS, what is CLI command line interface, and what is GUI, why we prefer Linux over Windows. An operating system OS is a core system software that manages a computer's hardware and software resources, acting as an intermediary between the user and the machine to provide common services and an environment for other programs to run. It handles essential tasks like memory allocation, process scheduling, CPU time, input or output control, keyboard or screen printers, and file management, making complex hardware interactions user friendly. Without an operating system OS, users would need to directly program hardware, making devices impractical. An operating system OS is the most important software on our computer. We can think of it as a manager of the house. It makes sure electricity goes in the right rooms and furniture or that is a hardware is organized. And people, which is like an apps, Spotify or Chrome, can do their jobs without bumping into each other. So operating system acts as a mediator between the hardware and the user. We cannot directly communicate with the hardware. We need something to communicate. So that something is called the operating system software. So with using we use operating system and it provides a software UI, GUI and CLI so we can communicate by commands or by interface with the hardware for doing tasks like memory allocation, process scheduling, etc. So, what are the key functions of an operating system or OS? First is resource management. It allocates CPU time, memory, storage, and peripherals among applications. User interface UI provides users ways to interact, that is, GUI or graphical user interface or command line interface CLI. File management. It organizes and manages files, directories on storage devices. Process management controls the execution, scheduling, and termination of program or processes. Device management. It communicates and manages hardware devices via device drivers. Security. It offers basic security features like user authentication and firewalls. In short, it makes the hardware useful. Hardware in the sense we use computers as an hardware, so the computer has various features that it offers. In order for us to use those features, we would need something to communicate. That something is called a software or an operating system. It helps us use resources, use UI or GUI or CLI, and it helps us get access to file management, process management, device management, and security. So, what are the big three operating systems? That is Windows, Mac OS, or Apple, Linux. One of the most popular operating system in the world is Windows, which is great for GUI or graphical user interface, gaming, and most compatible software for offices. macOS Apple. It is known for its sleek, stable, just working. It is exclusive to Apple computers, MacBook or iMacs, and is favorite for designers and video editors. It is also a GUI. And Linux. It is an open source operating system, meaning it is built by community. It comes in many versions called distros like Ubuntu, Mint, CentOS, etc. It is the engine behind most of the world's internet servers. So Windows and macOS operate on graphical user interface. We have to operate it by mouse, keyboards, and use it is like UI. You can see the features you have to cancel and everything in the screen. Whereas in Linux, it works on CLI or command line interface. We put the commands to communicate with the hardware for the resource management and etc. features. So what is the difference between CLI versus GUI? Feature, how it looks. GUI has icons, buttons, windows and menus to communicate with the user and the hardware. whereas CLI or command line interface is a black screen with plain text. Plain text in the sense that are the commands we put. How we use it? By pointing and clicking with a mouse in GUI. In CLI, it is by typing commands or text. GUI is best for everyday users, and CLI is best for developers and experts, DevOps engineers that work relentlessly on the system and the hardware and the back. An analogy: GUI is like picking a food from the picture menu, and CLI is like writing a letter to the chef to fulfill our needs. Why many prefer Linux over Windows? And in short, we can say why many developers or backend engineers or infrastructure DevOps engineer prefer Linux over Windows. While Windows is like a standard for many, people switch Linux for these simple reasons. That is, it is free. Windows costs money, often hidden in the price of a laptop. Most Linux versions are 100% free and free to download and use. Privacy and security. Windows often collects data on your usage. Linux is more private, much less likely to get hit by Windows viruses. Speed on old computers. Windows can get slow over time. Linux is lightweight and can make a 10-year-old laptop or junk laptop fast again. Total control. In Windows, you can only change what Microsoft allows. In Linux, you can change everything from how it looks to how the control system, how the core system works. So we have more control in Linux, and in Windows, we have only the control that the Microsoft allows us to control. Better for coding. Most programming tools are built to work perfectly on Linux right off the box. So as we can say, like Linux offers, it's free. Linux is free. It has more privacy. It's an open source, so it offers speed. It is lightweight. It offers more control than Windows, and it is better for coding. So we prefer, or many infrastructure DevOps engineers prefer Linux over Windows. So the summary would be Windows, it is best for Windows like gamers and businesses, UI or GUI. It is the standard for offices. macOS is for creative Apple fans or UI and video editing. It is like polished and simple. Linux is for techies and privacy seekers, and CLI, which is for freedom and customization. So that is it for the video today. I hope I make the topic simple and insightful. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.